Alright, so today we're going to be doing a video and we're going to be talking about some wrestling and how it usually goes. Let's get it. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to be making my coffee for the morning. Stephanie and getting cut for that contract signing. Why? It didn't even make sense either, because didn't Stephanie go on a podcast or something like that and say that she wasn't injured, but their sources were indicating that she was injured with something? We've had some great news recently regarding the new AAA World Champion. Congratulations to Dominic Mysterio. I think that show is the highlight of the whole week, to be honest. I've also been watching some Dynamite. Got to see the heel turn of Daniel Garcia. Maybe we'll get some more members of the Death Riders as well. And we've also been seeing some backpacks in the background for a long-awaited return of Orange Cassidy. Coffee's all sorted. And while we're waiting, we might as well talk about the events that are going to be taking place this upcoming weekend. For the first match I was going to talk about was going to be the Usos versus the Vision. For the first match of the Usos, I think that they're probably going to be coming on top. For the second match between Io and Stephanie, although I'm a huge Stephanie fan, Io did not get her proper chance as champion. And I think we need to see a proper run for Io Sky. Then we got basically three main events. So we got the WWE Championship. We got John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Then we got AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. For the first match, I think Cody retains. Cena versus Brock. I would hope that Cena wins. CM Punk and AJ versus Seth, Becky. AJ and Punk, I think, are the obvious ones to win that one. However, that's not the only card that we have. So since there's a lot of those matches on that card, I just wrote them down right here. We're just going to go over who I think is going to win them. So for the first one, Team Good Guys. There's a big 8-woman tornado tag tailgate brawl. I think it's going to be Team Good Guys to win. Coffee's almost done, by the way. Cope and Christian versus FTR. I think it's going to be Cope and Christian that are going to win. The Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and Gates of Agony. And I think the Hurt Syndicate's going to win. Mercedes Moné and Rio for the TBS title. I think Mercedes Moné is going to win that. Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley. Coffin match. I think Darby's going to win that. It's his first match back. Be kind of weird if he lost it. Then we got MJF versus Mark Briscoe in a tables and tacks. Tables and thumbtacks, something along those lines. And I think Mark Briscoe is going to win just because of all the shit MJF's been talking all week. This match I'm more intrigued with. It is a fatal four-way for the AEW Women's World Championship. I think it's a possibility that we can get an AEW new Women's World Champion. My pick for this is going to be Chris Statlander. Next up, we got a match between Hangman Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher. And let me just give a massive round of applause to Kyle Fletcher for his killing it on the mic recently. And also stepping up. Wardlow was actually supposed to be the one who was the #1 contender, but then he got injured when he returned at Forbidden Door. Keep up the great work. Keep doing your amazing title run as TNT champion. And Kyle Fletcher, world champ in 2026. Takeshita versus Okada. I think it's between two luchadors for the AEW Unified Championship. It's interesting because there's been a lot of tension between Okada and Takeshita as being the alphas of the Don Callis family. And I think Takeshita is going to be the new champ. Let's get a nice little coffee mug, shall we? We've got the team of Bandito and Brody against 4 other teams that are set to be determined. But I still think Brodito is going to be victorious. And lastly, but certainly not least, is the return of Eddie Kingston against Big Bill. I will say the only thing that's kind of disappointed me with this whole thing is that Eddie Kingston never got a proper return. But I do think that Eddie Kingston is definitely going to be victorious for this event. I think I want to keep this on a weekly basis, doing it on Mondays. WrestleMania being taken place in Saudi Arabia. Let me know if you think Mondays or Fridays are better.